It's December, meaning that it's winter up in the northern hemisphere. The Earth is slightly tilted, and when the Earth rotates around the Sun, different parts of the planet get more sunlight than other parts. This is what gives us different seasons, with winter being the time with the least amount of sunlight. Because of this, temperatures start to drop and snow starts to fall. The winter means a lot to me. I love when the snow falls from the sky. It's what makes winter special. Snow covers everything that is exposed to the sky and makes everything white. It feels strange walking through a forest during the winter when everything has the same color. The snow just has this certain beauty to it. Few animals are out and about during the winter, and there are no leaves on the trees that blow against the wind. The forest is very quiet during the winter, and I like the tranquility it creates. Sometimes I just lie down in the snow and take in the world around me. It's very relaxing just lying out in the forest. That is until I get cold. The freezing temperatures may be uncomfortable, but that's what gives the snow to begin with. Snow is just water in a solid state, and when it snows, that's just because it's too cold for water to fall in a liquid state. Snow falling from the sky is much nicer than rain in my opinion. You barely notice the snow that lands on you, and you don't get completely wet like you would in the rain. I find it interesting how lakes and rivers freeze during the winter because ice forms in ways that really grab my attention, and it allows me to walk across lakes and rivers. Ice fishing is one of the most interesting ways of fishing, and it's something I really want to try. There are lots of activities that involve snow. Many kids like to make snowmen during the winter, rolling balls that gather up snow and placing them on top of each other to make it look like a person. Some people go a step further and make snow sculptures. Occasionally, it's fun to have a snowball fight, and in Japan, it's even a competitive sport. Regardless of where you live in the world, if there is snow, that means you can go sledding down snow covered hills and dig tunnels in the snow. The possibilities are endless. Skiing is probably the most popular winter activity. There are millions of people who travel to ski resorts every year. I'd argue that it's because of skiing that we have the Winter Olympics in the first place. There is ski jumping, the biathlon, alpine skiing, and many other competitive sports involving skis. I recommend trying cross-country skiing because I feel that journeying through the snow-covered forest helps you appreciate the wonders of the winter. There are other winter activities such as slalom skiing and snowboarding. I've never tried snowboarding myself, but I enjoy going down hills at high speed on slalom skis and taking the ski lift back up to the top to do it again. When you're done with the winter activity for the day, it's nice to come home, sit in front of the fireplace, and drink hot chocolate. Coming into the warmth is nice to help reflect on the things you have done in the snow. The days become shorter during the winter because there are fewer hours of sunlight. Couple this with the amount of snow that can pile up, and the winter creates a more isolating atmosphere than any other seasons. I feel that this brings people together in some ways. Mountain cabins often have this isolating feeling because there is so much snow that piles up around the cabins, and the cold temperatures make it unappealing to go outside at any given time. But this brings the people who go on cabin trips together, whenever they are inside or outside. I haven't been on that many cabin trips, but I remember from one of them how much snow there was around the cabin. The snow went up high enough that you could climb up on the roof and jump off without getting injured, though it's still a bad idea to jump off a roof and I would not recommend you try it. Not everybody likes snow or winter, and I understand that. Winter is the coldest time of the year, and we generally like to stay warm. Some people don't have winter clothes, so walking outside is unpleasant, especially when you have to walk through piles of snow. I feel that a lack of snow makes the winter more miserable than fun. For people who live in places where it rarely snows, winter is just a much colder and darker version of autumn. The roads may be slippery because ice can still form in the winter without snow, and even if it does snow, the roads may still be hard to use because it can be hard to travel through the snow. Regardless if the road is icy or snowy, it's hard to drive your car to work in either situation. You can actually get sunburned during the winter because of the snow that reflects sunlight during the hours when there is sun. I don't think so many people enjoy having to shovel away lots of snow that is blocking their way out of the house. I feel that many of the complaints about winter come from people who just don't prepare for the winter months. We need the winter to regulate the temperature of the earth. As I said, snow reflects sunlight and can lead to sunburns, but like all things in nature, it happens for a reason. The reflectiveness of the snow is stronger than any other naturally reflective surface on the planet. This sends sunlight back into space and cools the planet. There are some people who don't care about global warming and think that the rising temperatures aren't going to affect their lives. But for those of you who don't care about climate change, I have a very important question. Do you like the snow? Winter is influenced by global warming, and it's likely that we will get less snow in the future because of the rising temperatures. It would be sad to be never able to go cross country skiing again, or if I never got to go ice fishing. Is there anything that you look forward to doing when it snows? Do you like to have snowball fights with friends or making snowmen? What do you think about the Winter Olympics? Not everyone gets to experience snow, and that's a shame because snow is great. Sure, there are some annoyances that come with snow, but as long as you prepare for the snow, then you won't have a problem. I think there's some people who don't realize that the winter is affected by global warming, but I've seen it. Several winters where there have been barely any snow at all, and I live in a country where it usually snows a lot. We need to act now. It does not matter if you don't care about the poles melting. Think about any fond memories you might have had that involve snow. Don't you think others deserve to have the same kind of fun that you got to experience when you had fun in the snow? Future generations deserve to have the same kind of fun that we get to experience. But if we don't do something now, they will never get to see snow, and instead have winters consisting of rain, floods, and misery. We need to make sure that doesn't happen. Let's reduce the pollution and create a future that's better for everyone. Happy holidays.